So the word Zionist in some circles has come to be seen as a dirty word in many ways that the word Jew was seen as a dirty word in prior generations. Well, if you know what the truth of the word is, what it actually means, there's nothing objectionable about it. And this is a great clip of Zach Sage, who asked Americans whether they are Zionists, and some who were clearly hostile or had been informed that they should be hostile express a hostility, but then he explains to them what it actually means. And, well, they have some reflections on that. Have a watch of the conversation.
Welcome to Are You a Zionist? The game show.
What do you think the definition of Zionism is? It's hate, isn't it?
Bad things. Oppression.
You think that there can be one Jewish state?
Yeah.
Well, that makes you a Zionist. You got a t-shirt.
They're throwing it in the garbage.
Did you just throw that in the trash?
Yes, I'm recycling.
Think that makes you look good?
Yeah.
Do you think the Jews deserve one sovereign safety home?
Yeah, I think they deserve a home.
Well, that makes you a Zionist. You won a DVD copy of Borat. Sacha Baron Cohen lived on a kibbutz.
I dislike Zionists.
So you dislike 95% of Jews? 95% of Jews are Zionists.
I am from a Jewish background.
Would you consider yourself a Zionist?
I would not.
If there was another Holocaust that were to happen in the U.S., where would you go?
That's a good question.
That's why Israel exists.
Why do you keep saying you guys?
We're just
You guys are
Jewish.
Zionists. Zionists are occupying and infringing.
That's not what Zionism is.
Our definition of Zionist is believing Jews have the right to have one state.
There's over 20 Christian countries.
For 50 Muslim states.
The Mormons have Utah. The Scientologists have Tom Cruise's house. They just want one state of protection. Can you get on board with that concept?
Yeah, of course.
Well, that makes you a
A
Zionist. And clearly, people don't seem to know what Zionism is. But luckily, once they learn, they don't seem to hate Jews nearly as much.
Well, it's interesting because it seems in so many cases people say, yeah, the Jews are entitled to a home. Not always, by the way, but sometimes. So the issue really comes down to whether they believe that we have the right to be in that particular land, the land of Israel. They're like, yeah, I get that you have a right to the land, but not a territory that's not yours. You can't just take it and colonize it, which is why we need to start becoming more unequivocal, that it's not just about the fact that there was a Holocaust and we needed a safe haven. It's not just that international law and the great international institutions voted in favor of the Jewish people re-establishing their home. It's not even the fact that we have an ancient historical connection to the land. It's that this is absolutely, has always been, the Jewish people's God-given homeland. That is the only explanation that can cut through all the noise. This is Jewish territory. It is the Jewish people's homeland, sanctioned as an eternal inheritance by God himself. And that really is something we need to be saying more, because this is the root of much of the hostility. You know, I think it's amazing that after, well, on October 7th, 2023, it was Simchat Torah, and Jews in Israel were reading the beginning of the Torah. We go back to the beginning of the Torah on that day. And the very first comment of the most famous Torah commentary of them all, Rashi, he says, why does the Torah begin with, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth? Why doesn't it start with the first of the commandments? Ultimately, the Torah is a book of laws and God's, what he desires and needs of us in this world. And he says, the reason Rashi gives is because if the nations say to the Jewish people, you are foreign occupiers of a land not yours, you're thieves, sound familiar? Then the Jews will respond by saying, God is the creator of the heaven and the earth, and he assigned this land to us. I do not think it is an accident that that is what we were reading on the day of October 7th, the day where all of Israel's great cosmic battles came into sharp focus and have done since, all coming from that fateful and infamous day. For me, the message is clear, that that's the only thing that's going to really cut through. That's the only thing that's actually going to turn the tide. It's part of the root of what's going on is people that are hostile to Israel. They're saying, you don't really belong. That's actually anti-Semitism at its core. Is saying, Jews, you don't belong here, not just in the land of Israel, but on earth itself. You don't belong here. And it seems like Rashi is telling us, and so much of Jewish tradition is telling us, that we have to articulate what our divine mission is in this world, who we really are, to demystify who we really are. And that is the only kind of plain talk that will actually cut through all the hostility and actually radically reshape our relationship with the world.
Thank you so much for watching. To watch another one, click here. To stay up to date with all our content, click here to subscribe. And if you're able to, you can help support JTV to grow and grow by clicking join below this video, where you can become a member and get perks including early access to videos and private live discussions with me. But most of all, you'll be partnering with us on our mission to change the world.